previous segments, we demonstrated some beginning play skills that you can work on when you and your child are playing together with toys. But how do you encourage your child to independently approach those toys so that you can make sure to practice those skills when your child is already interested in toys? Today we're going to show you how to set up some different toys in ways that encourage your child to begin to play with them, as many children do not go and take toys off the shelf, take them out, set them up, but if you have them set up partly, then they'll begin to play with them. Here we have a wooden helicopter with different pieces that are magnetic that easily come on and off the helicopter. Your child may play with the helicopter if you set it out on the shelf, but he might not. And if not, first try taking the last piece off and having it sitting there within reach so that all the helicopter is complete except that last one. If your child already approaches the helicopter, puts the last piece on, and then begins to play, you can try leaving the last two pieces off. But I would keep the bottom two on because it's harder to stabilize the helicopter when these pieces are off, and that might be frustrating. Here we have a caterpillar that has different parts that turn because of the gears that are attached together, and each one comes off. So because it's a moving toy, some children are just going to approach it because it very easily turns no matter which gear you turn. For other children, you might take all the pieces off and leave them in a little pile in front of the caterpillar, and they'll come up and begin to put them on and make the caterpillar. However, if you've done that and you see that your child is not approaching the caterpillar, it may be a little bit too much work for them to match each of the colors or to take them from the pile and put them on the caterpillar. So one thing you can do is lay them out right in front of each peg where they go so that they just need to pick them up and set them down. For another child, you might need to leave some of them on like this and have the rest ready to go so that the last thing they need to do before they can turn the gears is just put on the last few pieces. And they're right in front of the peg, so it's super easy for them. Here we have some wooden vehicles that have wheels that come on and off, and the parts come apart and go back together. You can play with them and roll them, you can put the pieces together. If we, however, set them out just apart like this and we have the pieces off and it just looks like that, that doesn't look like very much fun to a lot of kids, and they might not approach it because it's going to take a lot of steps in order to be able to play with it. If that's the case, then what I would suggest doing is having one that's already put together and then one that's taken apart, perhaps not in so many pieces, so that you might find your child will approach to play with this one. And now that they've approached to play, you can step in and help teach them that toy manipulation to put this one together. If your child has really simple jigsaw puzzle skills, most likely they'll be doing puzzles that have 3 or 4 pieces. But once they put that last piece in, now it's done. There's nothing else to do with it. So if that's the case, then you'd want to set up several different ones so that as they approach to put that last piece in, now you can work on helping them do it from earlier on in the process, and they have a lot more pieces to play, thus making the play take longer. There are many different ways to play with these types of building blocks. I'm going to show you a few different ways you can set them up depending on your child's interests. You may see that your child is playing with a lot of different items around the house, not necessarily toys, by lining them up or matching them by color, size, and shape. If that's the case, let's put that into the toys by having them set up all ready for your child to line up and match. Here I have some blocks that are all in a row and matched by color, and then I have some out right here ready to go. Notice that I didn't put any out here that don't belong in the set, so it makes it really easy for your child to come and add on the missing ones to have them match. If your child is not demonstrating any interest in building blocks yet, but they are in vehicles, you can have a block vehicle, set that out, and then have some blocks nearby so that when your child comes to play with the vehicle, you can then show them how to put the blocks on the vehicle. If you notice that your child likes to build really tall towers, get a tall tower going already, and then leave a few out for them to add onto. And last, if you notice that they like to take vehicles and knock things over in them, you can build some obstacles for them to crash. So the goal of this clip was to give you different ideas for how you can set up the toys around your house in a way that encourages your child to initially approach the toys. Use your imagination and set out the toys in a way that you think your child will most likely interact with, but if they don't come and approach the toys, think of a different way to set them up and try it that way. Once you see which one is most likely to get them approaching and playing with the toys, then you can begin to set up more toys like that around the house, which not only gives them more time playing with the toys, but it makes more opportunities for you to practice some of those skills that we have demonstrated in previous clips.